Hey guys, it's Paul from The Awesomer, and today we are taking a look at the 2024 BMW X6. This is the M60i version, which is the sporty version. It's got a twin-turbo V8 under the hood. It's quick, it handles great, and it's got a really cool coupe-like design. Let's check it out. So BMW has done a really nice job with the front of the X6. Unlike some of their other more recent vehicles where you might have this big sort of beaver teeth, taller grille, the grille is nice and wide. I love the sort of black look to it. And then one of the things that you're starting to see more and more on BMWs these days is this cool like chevron accent throughout the headlights. We'll see it more on the inside of the car as well. And the thing that makes the X6 really stand out from other crossovers is this coupe-like design here. We've got this curvy roof instead of a square, tall back. It's very sporty. It looks amazing in this green metallic paint here. So let's go look under the hood here and take a look at what we've got for the power plant. We've got a 4.4 liter twin turbo V8. This thing puts out 523 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque. It's connected to an 8-speed automatic transmission, shifts really fast. It will take this thing from 0 to 60 in just about 4 seconds, officially 4.2, but you know how BMW is. It's more likely to be 3.8, 3.9 based on my experience. And we're rolling on these big 22-inch BMW wheels with the performance brakes. This thing stops on a dime. So BMW has done an awesome job with the design of the interior of the X6, and I think they are really firing on all cylinders these days with interior design. This thing is just loaded with carbon fiber. You got carbon fiber on the dash, there's carbon fiber accents on the door, the entire center console here. You got carbon fiber covering up the cell phone charger and cup holders. And then we get over here, we've got a little bit of a storage area in the center box here. Now these seats, they're covered in a premium merino leather in a coffee color. It's a really nice color, complements the green on the exterior quite nicely. They're super comfortable. I love the quilting they've done here. It's very unique. And then you have plenty of automatic controls here for tuning in and dialing a seat exactly how you want. I like this especially, which is this electric leg bolster to give you a little bit extra support if you have longer legs like I do. Lots of cool textures in here too. If you see, there's that sort of diamond shaped pattern up at the top, and the Bowers & Wilkins audio system, which sounds phenomenal, also has these great speaker grills there and up at the top as well. You've also got a Bowers & Wilkins unit here. So there's a recent trend that I'm actually really liking. In more and more vehicles, you're seeing a single curved unit that combines your instrument panel and your touchscreen multimedia control. In the case of this BMW here, it's running the latest version of their iDrive system, which is very smooth, responsive, very deep interface with access to all the vehicle controls, all the climate controls, multimedia for audio. And then when you go in here, you also have direct wireless access to Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and pretty extensive set of settings that you can really cater to your liking inside the vehicle here. So here on the center console, you have access to all of the main vehicle controls. BMW has not used sort of ordinary conventional shift levers in a long time. And in this case, we've got a little crystal nubbin where you push forward to go into reverse, you push down to go into drive, down a second time for sport mode, and then there's a little park button here. This is also where you will switch between different drive modes, and there's also a brake auto hold feature. Something that I have really liked about this car, which I was surprised by, is that the auto stop start feature, which is usually really jarring, on this V8, you don't even notice it. It's so smooth when it kicks in and out at a traffic light. But if you really don't like it, just switch into sport mode and that'll turn it off entirely. So speaking about drive modes, you have 3 primary modes in this car. The comfort mode, which has sort of a softer suspension setup. It's just good for everyday driving. The exhaust note's not quite as loud, and it's perfectly pleasant in comfort mode. sport mode here, you have different types of sport mode. The default sport mode, which makes the overall driving experience more dynamic. You see it actually change the instrument panel color scheme a little bit. There's Sport Plus, which makes things even tighter and increases the throttle mapping. And then you can actually go configure this, so you can make your own combinations. So let's say that you want more comfortable damping, but you want sporty steering, and you want to adjust the drivetrain so it's maximizing those upshifts and downshifts. The X6 M60i has a rear biased all-wheel drive, which means that it's much more comfortable going around corners. It's less likely to understeer. It's a much more sporty feel. You've also got an M Sport differential in the back, which helps distribute torque between the right and left rear wheels. It feels very controlled, especially in sport mode. And then on top of that, we've got the adaptive suspension. So in comfort mode, it's going to be a little bit more compliant and soft and feel comfortable for everyday driving. In sport mode, everything tightens up. You get a stiffer suspension, the steering is tighter and heavier, and the overall ride is just feels more sorted. And then here comes the best part. We're just going to do a little 0 to 60 run here. Oh, a little more than 60. That was quick. So we've got a BMW M Sport steering wheel here, and it's a nice looking wheel. It's oddly not D-shaped like a lot of sport wheels, but what I do really love about it is just how substantial the grips are. So I've got bigger hands. It just feels nice and puts your hands in just the right position for the proper 9-3 grip for accurate and precise driving, and then just easy access to the paddle shifters here. So you can just use your pinky finger to shift. As the sun's starting to go down a little bit, we're able to take a look at the ambient lighting on the dashboard. There's a little M logo here, and that's controlled through the infotainment system. You can just go into the ambient settings. You can change the color of the lighting. So let's say we want it to be more green. That now has changed there. We can also, pick whatever color we want. We can do a blue, very subtle, and you can adjust the intensity of the lights and then the lighting effects as well, whether they light up based on an incoming phone call or to alert you to safety issues. And the lighting also changes when you switch drive modes. So if I switch to sport mode, for instance, we get this aggressive red lighting here. So it doesn't match the rest of the ambient lighting, but these speakers with the backlighting, it's such a cool touch. Just look at that up there. There's like a spiral in the one up above. And then this one has just like lighting of the speaker itself, the cone. Really beautiful lighting design in here. Nicely done. So a really neat feature that we've got here is the Sky Lounge roof. And this at night, you can turn it on and it can change colors. And it's these little tiny points of light that are built into the panoramic moonroof. Very cool. So I don't know if you can see this here, but this little diagram actually reflects what the car is doing right now. So as I come to a stop, the wheels slow down. When I put my turn signal on, the turn signal goes on. When I accelerate, the wheels speed up. So the front seats also have both heat and ventilation, which are adjusted here through the climate screen. On a hot day like today, I crank this thing up, cool my butt off, and I'm not going to be using that heated steering wheel anytime soon because it's been in the 90s here. You have a lot of automatic controls as well as separate zoning for the passenger side, driver's side, and as well as the rear. Let's take a look in the back seat and see what space is like back here. So I'm in the second row, and I have to say I'm impressed. There's better knee room than I thought we would have back here, And then headroom is pretty good. I've got probably between 3 and 4 inches between my head and the ceiling, even though the ceiling is quite sloped to the rear. So we've got zoned climate control in the second row, as well as heated seats. So each passenger in the rear can adjust their own temperature independently. And then there's a neat little feature here on the back of the seat. You've got a USB-C port that's kind of hidden in the seat back. And then you'll notice that we've got the same ambient lighting in the second row that we have up in the front. So there's lighting on the back of the seat and in the door. And then there's some more of those really cool looking speaker grills from Bowers & Wilkins. So in back, we have a power lift gate. So let's take a look under there and you'll see, I mean, we're in a crossover. So this is not a sports car, even though it might drive like one. And you have a good amount of cargo space in the back, plenty of room for luggage for everybody in the car, and groceries, golf clubs, whatever you need for a weekend away. And there's a little bit of space underneath here, mostly taken up by the spare tire, which is a donut, but it's better than an inflator kit. And then you have a cover here. This is a really nice design. Instead of it just being a roller shade, it just feels more substantial than some of those cheap shades. And then the rear seats can fold in a 40-20-40 split for versatility in terms of cargo handling. And then there's one more thing back here next to our little X logo. We've got a 12-volt charging port. So here's kind of a neat little Easter egg. When we open the front door and we open the back door, on the B-pillar, there's a neat little X6 logo embossed into the steel. Nice touch. So this BMW X6 M60i is one of the best cars I've driven all year. It's just a blast. It feels like a sports car, but it's so much more because it's practical. You know, yes, it's got a twin turbo V8 under the hood, but it holds 5 adults. It's got enough room for your luggage. It's got enough room for your groceries. It's got enough room to take your kids to soccer practice. But then it drives like a sports car. It handles, it's got sharp handling, really, really nice stiff suspension in sport mode, and a fantastic exhaust node inside the cabin. And I know BMW's doing some little crazy, goofy electronic enhancement in the cabin, but it's just a lot of fun to drive, and it puts a big smile on my face. Lots of people stop to say how beautiful it was, especially in this green paint. And there's only one thing to say. If you've got 6 figures, buy it. It's $93,000 to start, so this is not a cheap vehicle by any stretch of the imagination. And this one, with all the bells and whistles and the 22-inch rims and everything, is over $111,000. But if you got the budget, you will not be disappointed with the X6.